Alright.
Do we still have characters?
Yes, we technically do.
Tarantulas.
And Scorponok.
Man, Scorponok was such a nobody that he died.
Well, initially Pterosaur was supposed to be saved, but then Waspinator got popular.
Well, you get Scott McNeil to play a character they're going to be popular.
Initially the writers hated him.
You mean they hated Scott McNeil?
No, they hated Waspinator because of his voice. They couldn't write with him, and then they had so they've tried.
Waspinator see Maximals.
Well, it's not only that, they had to write around him, so that's why he ended up being the butt monkey of the show initially. And then the writers start to like him.
I was gonna say, like, whose idea was it in the first place that Waspinator would be Waspinator? You know, you could have turned the Wasp into, like, the badass. He's like, you know, I've got a huge stinger. I'm gonna take these guys out.
Scorponok, you're not as cool as your G1 version.
Yeah, that's true.
He was a city. A giant city scorpion.
Oh, that's right. Was he like, he was in, like, the Headmasters or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He had the gimmick.
And, I mean, G1 kind of dies for me right after Optimus Prime does.
I'm a huge fan of Hot Rod by my collection. If people know me, I have a massive Hot Rod collection.
Okay, so, you know, I have friends, they ask me, you know, hey Hal, what's your favorite Transformers character? And I'm always going to tell them Optimus Prime. Because I am a sucker for the most heroic, most self-sacrificing type characters, and Optimus Prime is nothing if not that.
Actually, that kind of goes into my thing. One of the reasons I like Optimus Primal and the animated version of Optimus Prime himself is because they question themselves. They are very not sure about things. So often...
That's interesting, because I realize the versions of Optimus Prime that I grow attached to are more like they're confident, they're assured, they're very adult, they're very fatherly.
Yeah.
And so when they throw themselves out there and fight to the death and sacrifice themselves, you know, it is because they know what they stand for, they know what they're fighting to protect.
Yeah, the thing with one of the reasons I like Hot Rod is that he has to question himself. He's never sure on anything, really. And
now, in my mind, that is more of like what, say, like Bumblebee or Cheetor was in different points in time.
Yeah, that's why
Scorponok died horribly.
I did a little bit better quicker.
And no, I agree. Like, I think I sort of sometimes see myself more as that kind of character where I want to figure out what it is that I stand for or am fighting for. Well, and I want to become the Optimus. I want to know what I'm doing.
Well, like with me, like I said, I prefer the Hot Rod Cheetor stuff. One of the reasons I liked Cheetor was that he actually had really good character development. I had all Cheetor's toys when I was a kid.
Well, Cheetor is just generally a good toy.
Yeah, no, he just usually is because he's like...
Except for that Transmetal 2 where he's kind of a werewolf.
It's not bad, he's pulsable enough, but if you want the best Cheetor toy...
Mine had really loose joints, and so it doesn't want to stand up too well.
If you want the best Cheetor toy right now, you want to get the Masterpiece. If you want the best Cheetor toy in Beast Wars, you get Transmetal. Transmetal 1 specifically.
So I really liked... for some reason, even as a kid, I was a sucker for show accuracy. And so when the show accuracy between the toys skyrocketed around Season 2 when they introduced Transmetals, I loved it. I was so happy that the toy I held in my hand looked 99% like what was on screen.
Optimus Primal is a beautiful version of his CG model in that toy line. It's still...
I was not huge on that particular Optimus design, though.
It's not that great, but it looks like the show.
It does.
Perfectly.
I always found it a little bit strange that he had two chests, one on his front and one on his back.
Well, that was meant to show the gimmick of the line, which was robotic animals, organic robot modes.
That's true. I think if they changed his head... No, you're right. Organic robot modes. I think if they changed his head, though, and they gave him the traditional Optimus
I think they should have kept the mouth plate.
Yeah, I think if they kept that, I would have liked his design better. He was a little bit strange.
But it was improved. But I will say this. Some people don't like this design. I do. I love Optimal Optimus.
I've got a friend who goes on, particularly about Transformers Prime, about the mouth hole that Optimus Prime has in that series.
I think I know the friend you're talking about.
Yeah, he's our friend.
I'm gonna do I'll try and do this one instead, and we'll do Tarantulas. This is our last dude.
Yeah, Tarantulas is the last Predacon standing.
Like the show. And
no, he died pretty horribly.
Actually,
he tried to extract the Vox spirits from inside of Tigerhawk and died horribly.
Oh my god!
So he is protected from Energon and nothing else.
He's just I think I'm gonna die really early.
Man, again, this. I'm trying to think of what this really reminds me of. Maybe it's just like a generic.
God, I can't even climb walls.
You're a spider and you can't climb.
Giant
fucking spider.
Oh God, his voice is awful.
His voice is pretty awful.
Oh man, Tarantulas, what happened to you? You used to be cool and horrifying. But no.
Hey, Space Cadets, if you have followed us this far into the video, I want you to leave us a comment. And we'll get back to you later on that one.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have.
There's gotta be a prize or something.
You get acknowledgement in the next episode.
You get acknowledged by Hal Senpai.
I think this is gonna be one of our more interesting episodes.
Well, we've basically given up.
Did I clip through?
Did you?
No, not quite. Glitch.
Oh man! Oh, that reminds me. So in the War for Cybertron, people figured out all these glitches where you could transform yourself through the wall. In especially escalation mode. Escalation mode was their horde mode in the War for Cybertron, and you could transform yourself through certain barriers and through the walls if you did it right. Because what the game is actually doing is there's 3 different models, I believe. And there's a model for the robot mode, there's a model for the vehicle mode, and then there's a transformation model which has just a flurry of parts moving around. And because of the model swapping that takes place, there is a fraction of a second during which your character has no collision.
That is
and that's what it's taking advantage of. And so players would get behind certain barriers and doors that they shouldn't get behind in order to just win in escalation mode. And I think they fixed it by the second game, because the first game, escalation mode, you could fight forever. I think it went for wave after wave. I think I got as far as wave 25 on one of those maps, playing with some friends. But in the Fall of Cybertron, the second game in the series, they cut it off after 15 waves, and you just kind of won. And I always found that a little less exciting, because, there was a really clear-cut cap, and the game just kind of ended. Whereas the first game, you could try your best to see how far you could go. And so I like that a little better, and also they had a lot more characters to choose from.
Well, in general, War for Cybertron, or Fall Cybertron. Yeah,
Fall Cybertron is more polished and more tightly controlled, but as a result, it loses some of its replayability.
It does. But on the other hand, you get a lot more characters, even though some of the designs I don't like as much. Like Optimus kind of suffers in that department a little bit. But Grimlock, oh my god. I want to get...
he's cool.
Let me put it this way.
He's got his God of War series.
Have you seen the third-party Grimlock toy from Planet X?
I don't think I have.
It is a sexy, sexy toy.
Oh, man. Has he got his giant sword and shield?
Giant sword and shield. It's almost as big as the toy itself, the shield.
Oh, jeez. Now, I'm completely down with the rewrite to the Dinobot lore that they did.
Oh, frack yeah, it's good. Look, the Dinobot's origin I never cared too much about in either
One day, Wheeljack saw dinosaur fossils, and he made Dinobots.
Well, the Dinobots either appeared on Earth first, or any number of things. There's a lot of different origins.
The idea that they were a Cybertronian team, the Lightning Strike Coalition, and Grimlock always had anger management issues, and it just got worse once he became an apex predator.
Oh no, they keep that for most origins of the Dinobots nowadays, like the Lightning Strike Coalition. Heck, there's even a toy line, a third-party Okay, I'm going to talk about this. There's third-party Transformer toys are toys not made by Hasbro that represent Transformers. They're not official. They're technically bootlegs. I don't care.
What are they from, mostly China?
Mostly American designs, China, British designs. They're all...
Because I've seen various toy reviewers that do reviews of these, and they look really cool. I've seen some upscaled toys from different things. I remember there was the Evasion Mode Optimus Prime from the 4th movie had an upscale that was really cool and had a lot more detail in it.
Oh, there's a lot of good ones, but there's actually a lot of original molds too. There's an entire original line of Transformers that are actually Dinobots essentially. So they're all like vehicle modes.
Yeah, they're like trucks, aren't they?
Trucks and except Swoop, who's like a little plane thing.
Yeah, he's a jet.
Though, admittedly, I want to get one that paddles the first 6 Dinobots.
Paddles.
Is
it a plesiosaur?
Yes.
Nice.
There's also the first he's like the first official one. It's kind of like he's like obscure Transformers lore. #obscure Transformers lore. I have the figure of the Raptor character Slash, who they added into the G1 lore now. I guess in toy form.
Oh man.
Yeah, I know it's weird. But yeah, no, I love me my G1 lore.
I just remember the day they dropped the Dinobots DLC in the fall of Cybertron, and my friend and I, everybody was playing as Dinobots. So we were playing the Conquest mode where you had to capture and hold different positions on the map. And my friend and I were just watching all the Dinobots move together, and we were like, they do move in herds. Da 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 da.
No, okay.
Jurassic Park.
Well, if you want fun, Devastation's also really good.
So I really want to know what we're doing in this mission right now.
I have no idea anymore.
We don't know. This is the background for our Transformers podcast. Apparently,
I've just learned to accept this. This is what it is.
We've learned to accept that V-Source is not a good video game, and it might be possibly breaking.
I did it.
I'm scared, Dave.
I don't know anymore. I think the game just was like, I give up. I just want to die. Don't you understand death? Okay, but in all seriousness, I really like Devastation. I played through that one.
Dies, we are done.
We are officially done. But I am happy to talk like Beast Wars and Transformers. Let Tarantulas be the one I win a level with.
Tarantulas is superior.
Tarantulas is the secret spawn of Unicron.
Now there's a side story I wasn't ready for.
Well, that was they never really delved too much into it.
How do you feel about the Transformers Prime version of Unicron? So in Transformers Prime, spoiler alerts, Space Cadets. Transformers Prime, Unicron is not just a planet, he is the core of the Earth. And they must stop him from transforming, lest the Earth be destroyed.
That's... Okay, I'm going to talk about this, and I'm just going to be honest.
How do you feel?
Alright, it's a great twist. Let's start out there. It's great. It's a great idea.
I loved it. So there was a moment right before they revealed it where I'm like, yes, yes, yes! And they did it, and they paid off, and I was very happy with it.
But there's a problem with it. And this is ultimately...
You can't make a cool toy out of it, I guess.
No, that's not the big problem. The big problem is can you have Unicron stories if Earth gets destroyed?
Well, has Earth ever been destroyed in a Transformers continuity?
That's the problem. If you're gonna have that as the thing, should Unicron come back and Earth be destroyed to get that?
I would say, generally speaking, probably not. You probably don't want to. I mean, I'm sure they could make up some sci-fi bullshit as to why Unicron would be removed from the core of the Earth, and it'd be like, oh, the Earth just turns to normal and stuff, and then Unicron gets out, or his spirit gets out, because in Predacons Rising, he basically became Galvatron.
Yeah,
because he took over Megatron's body.
Mm-hmm. No, the thing is that it's a great idea. It's just that I wish more was done with it. It's one of those great...
From what I hear, it's because you had a lot of Unicron storylines preceding it, like Transformers Armada. And so they really kind of want to get him out of the way.
Yeah, no,
and then they did a lot of different things with the, because Season 2 was all about the Omega Lock.
Well, I kind of wish that they weren't going to do Unicron stuff. I really wish they just wouldn't do it then at that point. Get it out of the way. But it's like this.
I think you could bullshit it that Unicron takes over a different planet with his spark or his soul, and then he becomes the Unicron that we all know without destroying the Earth.
I think it could have been interesting if there was a different way they could have done it. Is if they removed Unicron's spark and he took over a smaller Transformer's body. and like for a while he had to deal with.
That's Megatron. That's Galvatron.
Yeah, but that's kind of like one of the things is that, like his own body and kind of his own personality to an extent. That might be interesting, but the big problem is that to me it's like a great idea that I wish more was done with. It really is.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping the live action movies would get there, which supposedly that's where they were going to go with Transformers 6.
Well, even
Transformers. The last night was very clearly just spinning its wheels. If I've ever seen a movie that was spinning its wheels,
I would have just done I would have just done Unicron right then, or like get to him, get the toys.
There was so little that really happened that was relevant to the overarching story in that film, which is very sad to me. It's ironic because I felt that the last night had the best toy line of the movies and had the worst movie.
Dude,
I really like the Optimus Prime and Megatron that they released for those toys, and I got the Bulkhead.
Genuinely, it has a really solid toy line. Like,
yeah, they were good. I love them.
I wish Cogman had an easy release.
Oh, yeah, Cogman was neat.
If you actually got
I like that Cogman was just there to hang a lampshade on like Cade Yeager and his sexual proclivities.
Now
he's just like playing like dramatic music, and he's like, I know they want to fuck.
Now, actually, he had a bit of a different role. So, in the toy line, he's actually a headmaster. So, one of the cool things you could have done with him, and guess who else is a headmaster? That
Nitro Zeus.
Nitro Zeus, that asshole.
Now, there's a name.
I love that name, Nitro Zeus.
In the initial Transformers, where Nitro Zeus gets out of jail, he's like, hey Billy, I know where your wife lives, or something like that. He says something weird to the guy who's releasing him.
Yeah.
And it's like, why would a Transformer say that? Why would a Transformer even care?
It's true. But anyway, Nitro Zeus actually had a headmaster gimmick too. And at one point in the movie, there's going to be scenes of Nitro Zeus. Okay, I found this thing.
Found a barrier. I don't know. It's like how like Megan Fox was kind of like forced on us by the Bayformers movies, where it's like, oh, she like don't worry about the Transformers. She's supposed to be the sexy thing, and honestly, Megan Fox is like one of the least sexy actresses to me.
I find her very attractive, but
she looks like she would be slimy to the touch.
Fair enough, but Megan Fox I never really liked that much. I also didn't think she was that great an actress. Like
she's not.
She look, I know some people defend her. I just never found her that great. Like if you kind of want to see her, like she seems like she doesn't really try, and maybe she does. I don't know like what goes on in her head, but she never was that great to me. I know also some people defend the Michaela character, but to me it's like
there's. What's there to defend?
Apparently, Nostalgic Chick or Lindsay Ellis made an entire video about it, but
okay, she is pretty good at forming an argument, I will say. A convincing argument. But at the same time, if you actually take it within the context of the films and what the films should have been, there's not much one can defend. We are retreading our steps.
I've been trying to avoid that, but I don't know. But I'm trying to find like the switch to get through that barrier.
Damn it!
And
I'm gonna say like, so Dave, are you the kind of person to have an actress crush?
Okay, I've had a couple actors. Oh, I found it.
Beast mode.
Yes, I should get beast mode.
I wish I had like a Tarantulas toy to just sit here transforming repeatedly.
I love that original Tarantulas toy.
I love his Transmetal version. It's so cool.
Oh, dude, I have a couple.
A spider motorcycle.
Spider motorcycle.
Yeah.
Actress crushes were never really too much of a thing with me. In general.
So we can assume safely that no one's watching this video. What do you want to say about actress crushes that you can't say in front of anyone?
Frackin' A. Okay. Alright. So I had a huge crush on Natalie Portman for a while.
She's very attractive, yes.
Natalie Portman.
The Star Wars movies that she was in were well beneath her skill level.
Definitely.
I saw the Black Swan, and I remember thinking it was a very dramatic, complex movie, and I thought that she did a very good job in it.
Natalie Portman was one. I'm thinking here. Like
it's very rare for me to have like an actress crush, but I always thought that Jenna Coleman was very attractive. She played Clara in Doctor Who for a very long time. Yes, the Impossible Girl. She is very beautiful, very classy. And also the fun factoid that she is the voice actress for Princess Melia Antiqua in Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh, yeah.
She's the princess of the angel people, the Hyentia, who live at the head of Bionis.
Oh, God, she was,
wasn't she? And she's got some great banter with Shulk, back with the British dub of Xenoblade Chronicles. And I was very pleasantly surprised to learn that, so I like her. I think she's really classy and attractive. And Tarantulas is dead.
Well, yeah, no, Natalie Portman was one growing up. That was
Too bad she had to hang out with Hayden Christensen, huh?
It's true.
Dark times. Okay, so the Maximals are going to destroy the franchise. One Vader gets destroyed.
I gotta admit, this is actually the best part of this game.
The best part of this game is watching your faction get decimated by the other team.
It's great, just because clips.
So,
that was Beast Wars Transformers.
This was Beast Wars Transformers. The longest and probably worst episode we've ever done.
No, this isn't the worst episode we've ever done.
The worst episode we've ever done is not being aired.
Yeah, that's...
This is being aired.
This is probably the worst aired episode. This is more of our Transformers Actors Discussion podcast, apparently.
This is our podcast, apparently. Kudos to you if you lasted the whole time.
We're going to call this episode probably, Is It a Podcast?
Hal Dave's podcast. Thank you for tuning in, Space Cadets. If you lasted this long, you are a true fan.
Yeah. Well, we'll see you later.
Next time, we play a better game, because from here, the only place to go is up.
Yes, it is.